Hello everyone, my name is Sneha Igari, currently studying Computer Science and Engineering in Sri Venkateshwar College of Engineering, Bangalore. Today, let me discuss with you guys about the flow control statements in Python. Well, some of the flow control statement in Python are the if statement, else statement, elif statement, while loop, and a for loop. Now let us see about the if statement, how an if statement works. An if statement clause will be executed if the statement's condition is true. The clause is kept if the condition is false. We can simply understand it as a block of code is executed only when the if condition evaluates to true boolean value. The clause is kept if the statement executes to false boolean value. Now here we have the syntax of if statement. It begins with the if keyword followed by some required condition which evaluates to either true or false. Then comes the colon, and on the next line we have the block of code with increased indentation. Now here we have a simple program and a flowchart consisting of the if statement. You can see in the flowchart that the control first tests for the condition. If the condition is true, then if code is executed. If the condition is false, then the code is skipped. In the program, we have taken the age as input from the user, which is specified to integer data type. Then we have assigned the if statement. That is, it begins with the if keyword followed by the condition. That is, if age is less than or equal to 10, then we have a block of code that is print hi kiddo. Here as a sample output, I have taken the age as 6. Since age is less than or equal to 10, I have received the output as hi kiddo. The next and very simple type of flow control statement is the else statement. The if statement is optionally followed by an else statement. Else clause is only executed when the if condition is false. And most importantly, else statement doesn't have any condition and cannot exist independently. It comes in place only when the if condition is false. Now here we have the syntax for else statement. It begins with the else keyword followed by the colon, and on the next line we have a set of code with increased indentation. Now let us see a simple program and flowchart for the else statement. Here we have the program which consists both if and else statement. First, let us understand the flowchart. First, a control test for the expression. If the expression is true, then the body of if is executed. If the expression is false, then the body of else is executed. In the program, the name is taken as input from the user. Then we give the if condition. If the if condition is false, then the else statement is executed. Here, if statement is assigned as if name is equal to Alice, print hi Alice, else print hello stranger. In the output, I have given the name input as Lisa. Since Lisa is not equal to Alice, then so I have received the output as hello stranger. Then the next type of flow control statement is the elif statement, which is nothing but a simple else if statement. While only one of the if or else statement will execute only one condition, the elif statement or else if statement is used to provide another condition that is checked if the previous conditions were false. This is simply used to check or verify for the multiple number of conditions. Now, here we have the syntax of elif statement. It is similar to the previous ones. Begins with the elif keyword followed by some condition which evaluates to some boolean value. Next followed by a colon, and on the next line we have a set of code with increased indentation. Now let us go through the flowchart and program of the elif statement. First in the program, the control tests the expression for if. If it is true, then the body of if is executed. If false, then then we check the expression for elif statement. If it is true, body of elif is executed. If false, then the body of else is executed. In the program, first we take the name input from the user and the age input from the user, in which age is specified to integer data type. Then followed by the if condition, elif condition, and the else condition. If the in the if condition, we have assigned it as if name is equal to Alice, print Alice. If the if condition is true, then we get the output as hi Alice. If the if condition is false, then the expression for elif is checked. That is, if age is less than 12. If it is true, then you get the output as you are not Alice kiddo. Else, if both the condition are false, then we get the output as you are neither Alice nor a little kid. Here in the sample output, I have given the name input as Lisa and the age input as 10. Since 10 is less than or equal to 12, I have got the output as you are not Alice kiddo. That is, the statement of elif is printed. The next type of flow control statement is the while loop. While loop is used to execute a block of code for number of times until some condition is meant to become false. While loop is executed as long as the while statement is true. Here the number of iterations are infinite, or we can simply understand it as the number of iterations are not known to the user. Then the syntax of while loop. It begins with the while keyword followed by some condition which evaluates to some Boolean value. Next comes the colon, and on the next line we have a block of code with increased indentation. Now let us see how the flowchart and program works for the while loop. First we test the condition. If the condition is true, then the body of while loop is executed. If false, then it exits the loop. Now here we have a program in which we use the while loop. First, the number variable is declared, which is assigned to 0 value. Then we declare a while statement, that is begins with a while keyword, then the condition, that is if number is less than 5. Then we have a set of code. If number is less than 5, then Python prints hello world, and the number is incremented by 1 every single time the statement is true. Hence, we get the output as hello world for 5 times. Now, we have another type of while loop, which is called as infinite while loop. That is, the expression or the block of code is executed for infinite number of times until some condition is meant to be true. Here, in the while true statement, we have given the code as print, please type your name, and we have taken name input from the user. Now we provide the if condition, that is, if name is equal to your name. If it is true, then break. So now what is break? Break is another kind of flow control statement in Python. We have one more flow control statement, that is continue. Break is commonly used to terminate from the loop, whereas continue is used to continue to the next iteration or continue the loop. So now in this program, if the name is equal to your name, we assign it as break. That means to terminate out of the loop. And then print thank you. Now as the user gives the input as your name, the loop gets terminated. But until the name input is your name, the loop keeps on continuing. Well, the last type of flow control statement in Python is the for loop and range function. For loop is similar to the while loop, but the only difference is that in while loop, the user doesn't specify the number of iterations that must take place. But in the for loop, the number of iterations that needs to be taken in place are specified. The for loop is followed by the range function, in which 3 integer values are passed. The first integer value evaluates to the start value, and next evaluates to the stop value, and the last value evaluates to the increment value. If in the range function the start value is not given, then by default Python begins by 0. And if the increment value is not passed, then the Python increments by 1. Now let us see the syntax of for loop. It begins with a for keyword. Next comes the variable name followed by the in keyword, and we have a call to range function in which 3 integers are passed to it, as I mentioned previously. And next comes the colon. On the next line, we have an intended block of code. Now let us go through the flowchart of for loop. First, the control tests the condition. If the condition is true, then body of for loop is executed. If false, then the loop terminates. Now here we have a program which consists of a for loop. Here n is taken input from the user, which is specified to integer data type. And then we have declared a variable named total in which 0 is stored initially. Now we describe a for loop which begins with a for keyword followed by the variable name, that is n, and the in keyword. Then comes the range in which 10 integer value is passed, that is 10 indicates the stop value. Since the start value is not given, Python begins with 0 and increments by 1. And then we assign a set of code, that is total is equal to total plus n. After that, after ending the loop, then it prints the total. Here I have given the input value of n as 95 and received the total value as 45. So yeah, these were some of the flow control statements in Python. I hope this might help you guys. Thank you so much for watching.